Humans of the Cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Super hype news today. The boxes of Maze of the Master have been dispersed early. Content creators have opened them up, and now we have Odion's new archetype fully revealed here. Really hoping this comes out as like just some really powerful stuff. No idea if it is, but just hoping that's the case here. So let's get into this thing. I've been stoked for this for so long. I have 9 sets left in my workout today, but I saw this and I had to jump in early just to see it because I was just so hype. Couldn't finish at that point. I had to get here. So looking at this, starting off, we start with our guy. This is just Odion, the man with the mark. Love the name. Name's cool. The artwork's awesome. He looks like a Gravekeeper's monster almost. Level 4 spellcaster that has some synergy potentially with Magistus, which is cool. You know, it's fun. He's a level 4 Earth spellcaster, 1000 attack, 1000 defense. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can take 1 Temple of the Kings or a spell or trap that mentions it from your deck and either add it to your hand or, send it to the graveyard. That's good. I mean, we're out here with Stratos already, which I love. While you control Temple of the Kings, this card and Apophis monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. Ooh, also adding protection on himself and other cards. Really nice. Interesting thing here as well, like probably the number one thing you can take from this card already is Temple of the Kings is our Blue Eyes White Dragon, right? That central old card they're taking, building the new support around, which I think is fine because I actually think Temple of the Kings is a tolerable card in modern day Yu-Gi-Oh! It allows you, I believe, to activate 1 set trap card the turn it's set, which is nice, especially if it's super searchable now with this engine. We have trap monsters in this deck, which we'll get to in a little bit. And so getting those out quicker, really nice. And I love this card can get that, or if you already have access to it, any of the other cards basically in the deck, spell and trap wise. And also lastly here, I didn't catch this one. Temple of the Kings you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. Seems pretty good. Also protects your Temple of the Kings from being removed. Awesome. Next up here, we have Merciless Scorpion of Circuit. This thing is nasty looking in all the right ways. I love it. This is a level 6 Earth Fairy. Didn't we get Earth Fairy support like not that long ago? It's kind of interesting. Okay. 2500 attack, 2000 defense. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing 1 level 10 or higher monster from your hand or deck while you control Temple of the Kings. Wow. So you can just banish from deck. You just have to make sure you set up Temple of the Kings first. Okay, that's not crazy. As you can see, this guy down here looks like he's level 10 or higher, so that'll work. You can only special summon him once per turn this way. Also, I like that this is must first be special summoned that way. That means you can get him back once he is correctly summoned via his own condition. Once per turn during your main phase, you can add Temple of the Kings or a spell that mentions it from deck to hand. Free, so free, okay. And that is weird though, right? That you have to have Temple of the Kings up on the field already. Hopefully there's good spells that work with that, but we'll see. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can destroy that opponent's monster, and if you do, this card gains attack equal to half of that monster's original attack. Okay, I mean, yeah, that's kind of Fenrir-ish. Doesn't banish face down, but it pops the monster, and then you get even bigger, and you can declare a new attack, because this is popping, oh no, sorry, this is the beginning of the damage step, so I don't think that works. But you still get really big, you clear a monster, cool. And it searches. It's an extender, a fairly easy extender, assuming you're able to get to your main card in your archetype, and, gets you another spell. It's fine. Next up here, we have Anubis, the Last Judge. This guy also looks awesome. Not as nasty and dirty as this Scorpion guy, but really cool. Really cool stuff. Anubis, the Last Judge. This is a level 10 Earth Fiend effect monster. 3000 attack. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must first be special summoned from hand or graveyard. Okay. While you have 3 or more cards in your graveyard with different names that are Temple of the King and or traps. Whoa. And or traps by placing 2 of them on the bottom of the deck in any order. That is a strange summon condition. Okay. What I like is that you could literally just get 3 traps engraved, and then this card is turned on to put them back. Okay. Also, this deck is all Earth, which I believe will make it able to play like Dominus Purge. A little bonus there. Okay, interesting. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard to add 1 Man with the Mark from your deck to your hand. Wait, that's actually sick. So even just drawing this card, it's not like, oh, an awkward brick. You can just, you pitch him to get Man with the Mark. I don't know exactly if Man with the Mark by himself will set up all the requirements for you to summon him back, but then he's in grave and he can summon from hand or grave with that summon condition. Okay. And then if a spell or trap you control is destroyed by card effects, you can target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. Okay. All right. That's fun. I think this card's kind of fun. I don't hate this at all. All right. All right. We still need to see how it comes together. So now we get into the fusion portion of this deck. This is huge. So we have a bigger version of the circuit guy above, and this is just the Apophis guy, like the snake deity looking guy. All right, anyway, Divine Serpent, Apophis, level 6 Earth Reptile Fusion, 2800 attack, 2600 defense, pretty beefy. 2 monsters that mention Temple of the Kings. Okay. Must either be fusion summoned or special summoned by tributing to Apophis monsters. That's what we like to see. Give us those free to summon. These basically, this is basically a link to now, like, right? Like just link off to Apophis monsters. Once per turn, you can target up to 3 Apophis traps with different names in your graveyard. Set them. Woo! So if you're making this with 2 traps, you can just get at least 2 back, if not a third. Damn. Once per turn, if a trap card is activated, except during the damage step, you can target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. This card's spicy. Now, the bigger question will be, can we even get 2 Apophis monsters on field turn 1? That might be dicey, right? Because they're trap monsters, and even with Temple of the King, usually Temple of the King only allows you to summon one, like activate 1 trap the turn it's set per turn. But still, that's a powerful card when it's resolving, a really powerful card. This feels like the kind of card where if it resolves, like you're winning the duel. You're going +2 to +3 on this, and it's also just, you're setting traps, so you're just going to set up the ability to get a bonus pop at the same time, and it's pretty easy to summon. That card's really cool. Nice. Next up here, we have Divine Scorpion, Beast of Circuit. This is a level 6 Earth Fairy fusion. 3000 attack, 2000 defense. Again, really big. This requires a circuit monster plus another monster with 2500 or less attack. This guy does not have the cheat out summoning condition, by the way. If this card is special summoned, or at the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Opponent controls, or in their graveyard, banish it, and if you do, this card gains attack equal to half the banished monster's original attack. Okay. I'm actually curious if there will be a quick effect way to get this out on the opponent's turn. If there is, that's definitely like the move. Quick effect, summon this on the opponent's turn. You're going to get a banish, or of course going battle phase. So this is supposed to be just like an upgraded version of the circuit above. You can only use this effect once per turn. This card can make a second attack during each battle phase while a level 10 or higher monster is banished. So if you go through the marks above, if you use his effect to banish him, this card should be able to attack twice, which is also nice. I mean, this card's 3k. That's 6,000 damage. That's pretty nice. These are huge level 6 synchros, by the way. These guys are ginormous. Only last downside I'll mention, these are 1 level away from being instant fusionable. They're not, though. So could have been wild, wild, wild. All right, moving on. Spells and traps. This is where really everything was going to get put together here the whole time. This is Treasures of the King. Interesting enough, a field spell. Is Temple of the King a field spell or a continuous? Now I'm kind of thinking it might be a continuous. All right, we'll see. When this card is activated, you can set an Apophis trap from your deck. Love that. This card becomes Temple of the Kings while in the field zone. Love that. That's just extra insurance that if you're able to set up both, it means 1 Cosmic, 1 SP Little Knight going after a back row does not turn off Temple of the Kings for you. This is very similar to like the Horus field spell, I feel like, in design. Once per turn, if you have 2 or more set cards on your field or a trap in your graveyard, you can add 1 monster that mentions Temple of the King from your deck to your hand. This card's insane. This card's crazy. So this card, 1 is setting a trap by itself on first activation. If you can either get any other trap to be set or just have a trap in grave. I don't know, go second, imperm your opponent, purge your opponent, put a trap in grave. You just then get to double Rhoda. And this card counts as the card that your deck needs to have on the field at all times. This is a crazy search spell. I'll say it. This card's awesome. Cool. You can only activate 1 per turn. This card's incredible. Love that. Yeah. Next up here, we have Defense of the Temple. This is a new spell card. It's a normal spell. Fusion Summon. Okay. Broken Fusion spell. Fusion summon one Earth fusion monster from your X deck. That's kind of generic. From your X deck using monsters from your hand or field. That's pretty terrible. If you use a monster you control that mentions Temple of the King, you can also use monsters your opponent controls as material. That's interesting. What does that open up? I guess it's just for this guy. Yeah, it doesn't work for this guy, but it works for this guy. You can, if your opponent has a monster with 2,500 or less attack, you'd be able to hit that. It's one. Oh no, it's +1. I was gonna say one or more. It's just one, so you wouldn't be able to hit more than one. But okay, I mean, like if you just have a circuit monster on field, you'd be able to fuse your circuit monster with your opponent's monsters, with one of your opponent's monsters that's less than 2,500 attack, and then of course on summon, circuit is banishing a monster on their field or in their grave. So that's okay. Cool. If you control Temple of the Kings, you can banish this card from your graveyard to add 1 Dangers of the Divine from your deck to your hand. Now that's just icing on the cake. Now it just makes you want to play this card because you're also just getting a free road off of this. Okay. I mean, this one is the first one I'm like kind of iffy on. That it's not a quick play, so it's not like you can quick fuse with your opponent's stuff on their turn. You know, and it still forces you to like basically get circuit in rotation too, or at least one of them. It's not perfect. This is the first card I'm iffy on, I'll say that. But it also depends how good this card is. This is Dangers of the Divine. It's a new quick play spell card. Pay half your life points, then tribute 1 monster. All is cost, by the way. Oh, this actually works under the field spell, Lair of Darkness. Special summon 1, the Winged Dragon of Ra, from your hand or banishment, ignoring its summoning condition, and it make its attack and defense 4,000, but it cannot attack. Also, during the end phase of the next turn, return it to the hand. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, choose 1 Winged Dragon of Ra in your monster zone and send all other monsters on the field to the graveyard. Whoa, there's a lot going on with this card. I don't love it, I'll be honest. Forcing me to play the Winged Dragon of Ra seems terrible. I guess the bonus is that, because I would think this is a quick play spell, so I'm assuming if this card is sent from the field of graveyard, does that mean I'm assuming that just means if you activate this card on resolution, it gets sent to graveyard or whatever, on the resolution of the chain, it goes to grave, then it would trigger this effect? To where, like, if you did successfully summon Winged Dragon of Ra, make it 4,000, and then do the rest of this, you then, you know? I'm very confused by this. I guess it's sort of like a decent board wipe, a searchable quick play board wipe if you're willing to play 1 Winged Dragon of Ra. But the other big problem with the Winged Dragon of Ra, you have to summon it from hand or banish. So you can't just summon it from the deck. You have to already have access to it. I think that makes this card pretty bad overall. Yeah, so I would say these 2 spells kind of whack. I would still say, though, the field spell's crazy. All right, let's get into the traps. This is going to tie it all together here. This is Verdict of the Anubis. It's a counter trap to start, interesting enough. When your opponent activates a spell or trap card while you control 3 or more other spell or traps. Oh, just any spell or traps. Okay. That means trap monsters too. Negate the and continuous spells and traps. Okay. Negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Then if you control Temple of the Kings, you can destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible. Damn. Then inflict damage to your opponent equal to half of the total attack of those destroyed monsters. This card's bananas. Oh my oh my god. All right. Yeah, so my downside on this card is that you have to be like set up to kind of make this work, right? Right? Cuz you have to have like Temple of the Kings, maybe the field spell, and at least a trap monster. I mean, I guess. Yeah, you do have to be kind of set up to use this, but I would say like this is either possibly a one of side deck card because you can set it, and then it's just you know what I mean. It protects your board. It's an Omni Negate, saves you from board breakers, which is important. But the deck already has the other new trap monster to help. The other Anubis card. I think it's it's an Apophis card. It's an Apophis card. Anyway, all right. One more Apophis card to finish it out here. This is Apophis the Serpent. This is a continuous trap card. Special summon this card as a normal monster. Reptile, Earth, level 4, 16, 18. This card is also still a trap card. Then you can set one Apophis trap from your deck, except Apophis the Serpent. It can be activated this turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard, add one embodiment of the Apophis from your deck to your hand. Okay. I'll be honest, I was kind of expecting there to be more new trap monsters. There's only one here. This is the only new one. He's cool. He's actually pretty good, especially under Temple the King, where like if you're able with Temple the King on the field, you can just activate this the turn it's set. It sets you another one, and that kind of sets you up to have either, if it's the other Apophis, it's the one that negates that I was just mentioning. I can't remember its full name. I can't remember. I don't think that one's embodiment though. Is that one embodiment? I honestly just don't even know for sure, which is tough. Hold on. I just want to. Oh, okay, that didn't work. Cheese and rice, man. All right, hold on. This will be. I really hope that. Oh, it's the old one. See? So they're forcing you to play the old one, which kind of sucks. I wish that it was just like you could set any Apophis trap or whatever, but you have to get this one if you're getting it off of that. So it's not the end of the world. It is a free +1. Maybe that means you just play it as a one of because it's just not that good. But very, very interesting. All right. I mean, listen, this is a very interesting archetype. It's also important to note Gate Guardian got more support after it came out. Flame Swordsman got support after it came out in a core set a little bit down the line. And so this one should follow suit, but there's some good stuff here to already get started with, right? Man with the Mark, good normal summon. These two main deck monsters, I'm on the fence about. I need to see exactly how lines work with them. This guy's crazy if you ever get into him. If you ever resolve and like summon him out, he seems insane. This guy, decent as well if you get to him, but I don't know if we'll be able to get to him because we might not be playing the fusion spell. The field spell's crazy. This card's kind of mid, I'll be honest. As a fusion spell, quick play spell, probably not going to make it. Decent one of, counter trap that helps make our board like really hard to beat. And then the Apophis guy pretty decent as well. So I'm on the fence on a lot of it. I have no idea, how it all goes. I need to see like what lines look like and what the actual game plan's going to be. Do not forget about Silhouette Rabbit though. That's just another wrinkle into this deck where just 2 effect monsters on the field is getting you any trap monster. So keep that in mind. And yeah, we'll have to see, but very interesting. I'm gonna have to see what I can cook up here, see if there are some cool things we can do with this deck, but I like the potential so far, and it should, if anything, get more cards down the line. So stay tuned for that, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. I guess the only other reveals we'd actually be waiting for from this set are going to be reprints, if there are any other crazy reprints that add value to the set, but I think they're still working on getting those out, so keep an eye on those. But I'll see you in the next one. Let me know your thoughts on this archetype. I'd love to hear it, and I'll keep you tuned in on all news as it's coming. I'm so frazzled right now. All right, peace.